Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. Shout out to anybody who joins in the live stream. Just wanted to come on and follow up on U.S. sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson, or professional sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson. I saw today over maybe in Brussels is the thing work? Oh, Sha'Carri is the bronze medalist from the Jamaican team that swept the Olympics 100. So it'll be a continuation of the rivalry between Sha'Carri and the Jamaican trio. Interesting, that she's not running in the 100 at this event. I don't know a whole lot about this event actually. Shout out to my guy C Easy that texted me last night about this race. I'm probably just gonna catch the highlights here on YouTube somewhere once they emerge, and we'll see what sis can get done. Maybe it's not such a bad idea. I mean, it's great to see her. It's great to see her, competing and continuing to, figure things out and work herself back into the U.S. trials form that we saw. But like I said, it is interesting that she's not running in the 100. Maybe it's a good idea to get a break away from that. I don't know what that field was going to look like, whether Thompson Harrah was there, or Shelly Ann Fraser Price, or whatever. But all in all, like I said, it's good to see her continuing on to do her thing. Another thing that comes out of this is the rivalry, with us seeing the results at the Prefontaine, what was that, last week or very recently, and then the meltdown after the race. This is bringing, this is selling tickets, so to speak, figure of speech. Now I'm sitting here waiting to see something in the Diamond League, and in years past, I really haven't kept up with track and field, but some of the messiness or the noisiness from the last few months in women's track. Again, I'm sitting here checking out and open to seeing what goes on in the results of these races. So on one hand, I think that's excellent for Sha'Carri and the sport. Now, we just need to see is that, like I said, is there going to be a return to form? Can she work herself back into contention and start living up to the expectations that a lot of us had? And so, I think it's a good chance, this being, overseas and whatnot, I think this could be a good chance to kind of get a reset. I think with the post-race blow up with what's my man Lewis? I can't think of his last name or his first name, but the track reporter that's been out there for years. But I think with that, the optics of that whole situation and what she said, and not looking like a professional, looking like a sore loser, kind of looking like a brat. It's a chance to reset and refocus on what she's trying to do. Again, a lot of these artists, performers, entertainers, they sit here and respond to to everyone that has an axe to grind and people that want to see them fail, and kind of downplay the importance of the people that we're sitting here rooting for. And I think some of us, I love what I'm seeing out of Elaine Thompson Harrah, and I'm a huge Shelly Ann Fraser Price fan, but I'm still rooting for for the American in these competitions. So I just want to see what's next. Like I said, I would imagine if it's over in Brussels, I mean, it should, and if it is today instead of tomorrow, Saturday, some results should be popping up somewhere soon, because they're several hours ahead over there and whatnot. Then getting to Sanya Richards Ross, you know, Olympic medalist. I believe she's won gold a few times. Jamaican descent, came out of the University of Texas. She's doing her thing in media, but she recently appeared. I just got done watching a video of her on Peacock's Brother from Another with Mike Smith and Michael Holly. And I just respected her being discussing the matter in such a professional manner and doing what she does. I said this earlier, and I made a video a couple of weeks ago about, you know, just talking sports and talking about different sports topics. It can be misconstrued as you hating on somebody, or you attacking somebody. You're being critical. You're lashing out at black women. You're trashing black women, or, you know, all this stuff that's going on now. And it's like, nah. Some of us are just looking at the results. And then sometimes, you know, you take a look at what fed into those results. You hold people accountable. You know, like I had a video on here a month and a half or so ago when I was talking about Sha'Carri, and the title of the video was that she was disqualified from the team. And someone, just for me saying what happened, somebody had some negative comment on here. It was clickbait or something. And I was like, damn, how can I give the video a title and not say what happened? How does that work? So, but with Sanya Richards Ross on there talking to Smith and Holly, she had fun, you know, cause she, like I said, with her being of Jamaican descent, she was proud of you know, the showing that what Thompson Hurrah is doing, and spoke, you know, how well and the pride that that Jamaicans have in their track team, and specifically their women's trio that's hot right now. But then I like that she kept it real in speaking on Sha'Carri, and mentioning that, you know, just like I said, Sha'Carri was the one that went out on social media and at least one or two times, maybe even more, you know, made some bold statements and gave some warnings and said and sold some tickets. You know, she said what was going to happen, how she was going to perform, and hooked a lot of us, let us know when to show up, when to tune in, and have our popcorn ready. And then when we did our part, you know, she didn't really show up and have much you know, much say so in the outcome of that 100-meter race, and then withdrew from the 200 at the pre. But I also like that Richards Ross also talked about, she walked through the technical aspects of why that race was not competitive, and why Sha'Carri finished ninth out of 9 sprinters. And you know, I knew what I was looking. I saw it as I was watching the footage, but for her to kind of walk you through it, you know, the thing that she cited as being the biggest reason was that Sha'Carri needs to work on, or is people that know, and she isn't a great starter. She doesn't start her races all that well, and she got out of the blocks and was fighting uphill, you know, the entire way. And then maybe, you know, 40 meters or something to go, she was out of it and seemed to shut down, in my opinion, and I've heard others say it too. But yeah, you know, she just has to figure out, you know, that was the first taste of racing with those women and with other elite sprinters and whatnot. And, you know, now it's time to go back and see how she can make those improvements, sharpen up those areas of her game, break the race down however she needs to improve the result. But again, right now, you know, like I said, Thompson Hurrah is doing some phenomenal stuff. she's must see TV right now. Uh, just phenomenal. So, and like I said, me being a huge Fraser Price fan, I'm sitting here, feeling some kind of way because it's nothing that Shelly Ann can even do with her teammate right now. Uh, Thompson Haraj just locked in. Richards Ross did speak on some different details how Thompson Haraj really could have threatened to really beat FloJo's record in that race if she would have had a little bit more tailwind. So I like listening to people who know what the hell they're talking about. To point out these types of. I guess it wasn't a lot of wind in the stadium that day or whatever, but yeah, she Richards Ross did just break it down that that's a glaring weakness in Sha'Carri's game right now, and if she knows it, then I'm sure her opponents know it, and also her trainer or coach should know this, and that's what they should be attacking as they go to get better, and improve on things. And that's another thing that I felt Richard Ross, her commentary justified where I was coming from when I said, with Sha'Carri being away from the game, she knew before she got there. She knew what she was doing in practice. I mean, sprinting is all about these numbers and tracking all of this stuff. She knew what she was running before she got out to Eugene, Oregon, I believe, is where that race took place. And she knows what the Jamaican trio have been running. So she knew before the race started, coming into it. She knew where she was performance-wise, where she was in terms of peaking and all of that type of stuff. So, like I said, for people to come out and be defensive or rush to her defense and, trash people for speaking on it in a truthful manner, that's sports, man. It all boils down to wins and losses and scoreboards, result boards, times, what you shot, what you shot on the golf course, your pin total in bowling. All of this stuff is no mystery. So, like I said, it was a great segment featuring Richards Ross. She had great energy, definitely not hating. I know the situation was out there. I still really didn't even look into what transpired between Allison Felix and Sha'Carri Richardson, where, Sha'Carri came back and said something after Felix. I thought Felix was like offering to do some mentoring or to reach out, link up and talk through some things and maybe dealing with stardom or superstardom or, having additional eyeballs on you and whatnot. And just kind of left it out there like a open invitation out there or expressing her willingness to kind of be big sis. And Sha'Carri said something, she didn't need that or she doesn't want that or, hell out of, F out of here or whatever. I don't know. But like I said, all in all though, all of this everything that's being said, it doesn't hurt, in my opinion, in a sport like like women's track and field, where you gotta work to keep up with all of this, with where all of these events occur, what the schedule is. It takes work to follow the sport. And with these types of storylines being out there regularly in whether it's on YouTube or in the mainstream media, it's definitely got me paying attention. Lastly, before I get on off of here, another situation with a young sister in Coco Gauff. Just got bounced from the U.S. Open yesterday, I believe, by Sloane Stephens. And, I was excited to see the match. I thought it was a raw deal that they met up in the second round of the U.S. Open. I didn't realize that Gauff has hustled her way up into the top, just outside of the top 20. She's ranked 21st right now, and just ran into a buzzsaw yesterday. But, Sloane has already won a Grand Slam and looked awesome yesterday. She had Coco out there out of sorts. A lot of unforced errors from from Coco. But what I want to say about the young girl, as it relates to Sha'Carri, what I liked is Coco. I never really saw her really like truly break down or truly break. Um, Even when it was going bad, she tried to go to some different things. She tried to get up to the net and change things up, but she just wasn't sharp. But it was 2 sets. I don't even think she won 2 games in the second set. It's either 5-2 or 6-2 or whatever. The match only lasted a little over an hour and 15 minutes or something, but she took it on the chin, and I liked what I saw afterwards, and shout out to the family, the Coco Golf family. Shout out to Sloane Stevens. Had the injury and kind of fell off and lost the momentum that she gained after winning that Grand Slam and whatnot. Um, but yeah, shout out to the family. Coco's parents. Of course, they got the cameras on them. They sat there. I know they were going through all types of emotions, looking at their 17-year-old daughter out here in the second round, getting upset or bounced early. But one thing they mentioned in the commentary on there was similarly to Simone Biles with the promotion that took place during the Olympics, where all of the billboards and all of NBC's ads and TV stuff, TV promotion, all the whole Olympics was solely about Simone Biles. And the commentator on ESPN yesterday said, it was billboards all over New York. Coco Golf is a New Balance, I believe, is her footwear provider, and that's who her endorsement deal is with. They also have Kawhi Leonard in the NBA, but they probably had a lot riding on her, and I don't know, what kind of pressure that is, but like the lady was saying, when you have billboards all over the city, and then you're gone on, in the second round, that's not a good look. But hey, it happens. And she's another one. She has to go back. They mentioned on there that it might be her forehand or something, where she's having a lot of errors, or unforced errors, and that the other veterans, the other the opposition out there will try to take advantage of that. If that's what the word is in your game, then people will attack that. Opponents will attack that. So it'll be interesting to see, how Coco bounces back. Like I said, man, I love the family. I see Dad sitting there looking all stoic as this thing is quickly unraveling for his daughter. But it happens, and that's how she's gonna get better. Cause getting embarrassed like that, getting and they mentioned that, and Sloane spoke to it, that they had a really personal relationship, and Sloane was watching her as she worked herself up through the ranks. And but it had to be a winner and a loser, and she was the winner big time yesterday. And but it's experiences like that, yes, she has worked, like I said, hustled her way up into the top 25, and everything is trending in the right direction. But that's a hell of a draw, to get a former a previous slam winner in your second game in one of the slams. I mean, that's jacked up. But it was a great match. It didn't work out in her favor. So anyway, like I said, man, we see what's going on with Sha'Carri in the track world, and what she's doing in the face of adversity, public humiliation, and being embarrassed and whatnot. And then we also see at the same time, what's going to happen next for young Coco Golf. After a bad look and being put out in the second round of the U.S. Open. I think that's what the final slam of the tennis season and whatnot. So I'm sure she's somewhere trying to get over this, but having to go through the emotions of all of it, and the disappointment and that frustration, and then getting back out there and getting that work in to make sure that it never happens again. So anyway, man, pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. Have a phenomenal weekend. Hopefully you have an extended weekend with it being a holiday and whatnot. Check out the podcast. It's always personal. Let me get on out of here, man. Remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.